Something unusual is happening in the grocery world right now. While most retailers are shrinking, closing locations, downsizing staff, or quietly pulling back on their expansion plans, one chain is doing the exact opposite. Aldi is pushing forward, fast. The company announced that it plans to open 800 new stores in the next 5 years, and when you look closely at what they're doing, it becomes obvious that none of this is an accident. Their growth isn't luck, it's strategy. Aldi has built its entire business on a simple idea: remove everything that doesn't matter and pour all your resources into the few things that actually do. Most shoppers feel the results every time they see the total on the receipt, but what they don't see is the system behind it. Hidden inside all these low prices are a series of tactics, efficiencies, and cost-cutting tricks that the company has perfected over decades. And once you understand how those decisions work, you start to see why Aldi is expanding while others struggle just to stay level. Let's start with one of the biggest misconceptions: taste. At some point, every shopper has wondered the same thing. Why do Aldi products taste surprisingly good even though they cost so much less? The truth is simple. Aldi doesn't advertise. They don't run expensive commercials or pay influencers or buy giant billboards. And because they don't pour money into those buckets, they don't need to inflate their prices the way national brands do. In fact, many Aldi private label products come from the exact same factories as the name brands you see in big box stores. Their potato chips, same production lines as Lay's. Their dairy, much of it comes from the same farms that supply national brands. Even their chocolate bars are imported from the same European chocolatiers that sell upscale bars for 3 times the price. A recent blind taste test showed 78% of shoppers couldn't tell the difference between Aldi's private label and national brands, and 23% actually preferred Aldi's version. When you strip out the marketing, the fancy packaging, and the middlemen, what's left is the food itself. And Aldi focuses all its energy on getting that part right. But knowing the economics is only the beginning. One of the biggest Aldi shopper secrets comes down to timing. If you know when to go, you can stretch your grocery budget dramatically without changing your habits. Aldi receives most of its weekly shipments on Monday and Tuesday nights. That means the freshest produce hits the shelves by Tuesday or Wednesday morning. Store data shows 65% of locations finish restocking by 8:30 a.m. on those days. Early shoppers walk into a fully stocked store where the vegetables were unloaded less than 24 hours earlier. And if you're hunting for the red clearance stickers, those bright tags that can drop prices by 30% to 70%, the best times are Wednesday afternoons and Sundays, right before new shipments force Aldi to clear older items. One thing to avoid: Saturday afternoons. It's the busiest window of the entire week. Checkout times jump from an average of 4 minutes on Tuesday mornings to 12 minutes on Saturdays. Navigating those aisles during peak hours feels like walking through a concert crowd with everyone holding a shopping cart. Early weekday mornings give you the opposite experience: full shelves, calmer aisles, and a checkout lane that moves almost instantly. Even something as simple as a rainy day works in your favor. Aldi sees 30% fewer shoppers during bad weather, which means quicker trips and less competition for deals. While we're talking about savings, one category deserves its own spotlight: wine. Aldi's award-winning bottles consistently cost around $10, but many of them beat wines priced at $40 or $50 in blind competitions. The reason is direct sourcing. Traditional wine goes through a long chain: winery, distributor, wholesaler, retailer. Every step adds a markup, usually between 20 to 30%. Aldi cuts out those layers by buying straight from vineyards. The company's wines have won over 400 international awards in the last 5 years, and experts often praise them without realizing they're tasting an Aldi bottle. In blind tests, some of their sparkling wines even beat champagnes, costing 5 times as much. But wine is just one example. The red sticker system is where everyday shoppers save real money, and surprisingly few people understand how it works. These stickers are Aldi's built-in markdown program. Items nearing their sell-by dates get discounted by 30% to 70%, and if you shop early enough, you can grab bakery items, meat, and dairy products before anyone else touches them. Most of the markdowns drop between 7 a.m. and 12 p.m., and during holidays, they appear up to 48 hours earlier than usual. Some stores even offer extra discounts for dented cans or slightly damaged packaging, usually between 10% and 20%. That tiny dent in a can of tomatoes is basically free money. But Aldi's efficiency doesn't end with products. It extends directly to the employees. Aldi staff members are known for being unusually helpful, especially compared to workers at larger chain stores. They lend quarters when customers forget them for the carts. They know the layout of the store well enough to guide you to any product without walking in circles. They check expiration dates daily and will replace items for free if something slipped through. This customer-friendly reputation isn't an accident. Aldi pays its employees about 15% higher starting wages than the industry average, and they offer benefits to anyone working 20 hours or more per week. Happy employees stay longer, work faster, and know their stores inside and out. If you've ever been through an Aldi checkout, you know exactly what speed looks like. Cashiers scan items so quickly that you barely have time to grab your wallet. The entire setup is designed for efficiency. Barcodes printed multiple times on packaging, conveyor belts optimized for scanning, wide carts so items can be tossed in quickly without bagging delays. This is why Aldi checkouts consistently outperform competitors, and why some people swear the cashiers could qualify for a speed scanning championship. Then there's a policy that feels almost too generous to be real: the twice as nice guarantee. If you buy an Aldi product and don't like it, they'll not only refund your money, they'll give you a replacement item for free. You often don't need a receipt because Aldi's packaging is distinct enough for workers to verify the product. Officially, the return window is 60 days, but a large percentage of stores honor returns far beyond that. And despite how wide open this policy looks, the abuse rate is incredibly low. Only 2% of shoppers attempt to game the system. Most customers simply appreciate the safety net and stay loyal to the brand. Now, let's talk about something Aldi shoppers either love or fear: the middle aisle. Also known as the aisle of shame, this is where Aldi puts all of its seasonal, limited-run, impulse-buy products, everything from kitchen appliances to tools to random novelty items. The selection rotates weekly, and the quantities are limited. That scarcity plays a psychological role. Once items hit the shelf, they tend to sell out 23% faster than similar products at other retailers. And because many of these items come from the same factories that make big-name brands, the quality is surprisingly high. A coffee maker sitting in this aisle might cost $30 at Aldi and $75 at a specialty store, and they're basically twins. But if you want to avoid the frenzy of the middle aisle altogether, there's another Aldi secret that most shoppers still don't realize exists: self-checkout. Aldi began rolling out self-checkout quietly around late 2021, and today, more than 60% of stores offer it. The scanners are more sensitive than those at other chains, meaning fewer frustrating errors. The interface is also simpler and faster. Regular checkout for 20 items takes around 3 minutes and 20 seconds. The self-checkout option brings that down to just over 2 minutes. And some stores even let shoppers scan items directly into their reusable bags, eliminating the stress of rebagging everything after paying. Even better, there are golden hour windows for self-checkout. Tuesdays between 9 and 11 a.m. report almost no wait times. That's a big contrast from Saturday afternoons, when even self-checkout lines slow down with heavier traffic. All of these details, the direct sourcing, the employee training, the scheduling strategy, the packaging shortcuts, feed into Aldi's bigger plan. And that plan becomes obvious when you look at the expansion numbers. Aldi grew from about 1,800 U.S. stores in 2018 to over 2,300 today. That's a new store roughly every 12 hours. Their goal: 2,500 stores by 2028, and they're getting there faster than most analysts expected. This expansion has put serious pressure on competitors. When an Aldi opens in a new area, nearby grocery stores drop prices by an average of 7% within 3 months. Economists call this the Aldi effect. Even if you never shop at Aldi, you benefit the moment they arrive in your community. Walmart has remodeled store layouts to copy Aldi's efficiency. Kroger has introduced budget-friendly private labels designed to look and feel more like Aldi products. Even Whole Foods has pushed more low-cost pantry items to keep shoppers from drifting to the cheaper competitor. And the store design itself plays a big role. The average Aldi is 16,000 square feet, about a third of the size of a typical supermarket. Smaller stores mean lower operational costs, fewer staff, lower energy usage, and quicker shopping trips. Real estate developers know how powerful Aldi is for foot traffic, so they often offer prime locations at discounted rates just to bring them into a shopping center. When you add it all together, Aldi's strategy becomes clear. They've built a system where every decision leads to one outcome: lower prices without lowering quality. the store is smaller, the inventory is tighter, the packaging is simpler, the sourcing is direct, the employees are trained differently, the checkout is faster, and the growth is accelerating because that formula works for families who want real savings without sacrificing the food. But to really understand why Aldi's growth feels so unstoppable, you have to look beyond the walls of the store itself. Because the biggest secrets Aldi keeps, the things most customers never see, have nothing to do with the shelves, the product labels, or the checkout lanes. They're buried deep in how Aldi runs its entire supply chain, how it trains its managers, how it chooses locations, and how it quietly reshapes the entire grocery economy, one store at a time. For example, one of Aldi's most powerful advantages is something you rarely hear discussed. Their supplier contracts are some of the toughest in the industry. Aldi demands consistency, volume efficiency, and strict quality standards from every manufacturer they work with. They also require suppliers to design packaging that fits shelf dimensions perfectly. No wasted space, no oversized boxes, no flashy marketing materials clogging up displays. A cereal box from a national brand might be full of wasted air to make it look bigger. Aldi forbids that. Every inch of packaging has a purpose. This might sound small, but multiply that efficiency across 300 plus stores, and suddenly you're talking about millions of dollars saved in shipping, storage, and shelf restocking labor. That's a savings they pass down directly to the shopper, or use to open the next several hundred stores on their expansion roadmap. Another Aldi secret most shoppers never think about is their energy strategy. Grocery stores are one of the most energy-intensive retail categories, mainly because of refrigeration. Aldi has quietly invested hundreds of millions into efficient refrigeration systems, LED lighting, solar panels, and temperature-controlled logistics. Their stores use around 40% less energy than a traditional supermarket, and while most chains pass those energy costs to the customer, Aldi keeps the savings inside the store. Think about that for a second. If you can run a store more cheaply than the competitor down the street, you can keep your prices low without sacrificing your margins. That's exactly how Aldi has been able to grow during periods when other grocery chains are reporting losses or cutting staff just to survive. And speaking of staff, Aldi managers operate under a completely different philosophy compared to traditional grocery chains. At many supermarkets, a store manager's job is to hold the place together and follow corporate orders. Aldi flips that script. Their store managers are trained like small business owners. They learn everything from payroll management to shelf optimization to local marketing decisions. They're expected to run their stores like independent operations, fast, lean, and focused. This is why Aldi's staffing model works. Instead of hiring massive teams, they hire small, cross-trained crews who can do everything: stocking, cashiering, inventory checks, customer support, and opening/closing procedures. You might see only 5 people working in the store, but they're trained to operate like 12. It's also why Aldi's job interviews are notoriously demanding. You'll see prospective employees tested with speed tasks, physical tasks, multitasking assignments, and problem-solving drills. If they don't move efficiently, they don't get hired. Aldi invests heavily in early training because they expect every worker to maintain the store's rhythm. And when a store's rhythm is efficient, prices stay low. But here's a secret very few Americans know. Aldi operates 2 completely separate divisions, Aldi Nord and Aldi Sud, and each one controls different regions of the U.S. This split dates back to the 1960s when the 2 founding brothers disagreed on whether to sell cigarettes in stores. They divided the company in half, agreed never to overlap territories, and went their separate ways. Yet both companies follow nearly identical strategies today. This matters because Aldi's U.S. expansion is essentially 2 separate expansion plans happening at the same time, doubling the pace at which the chain can take over new markets. Most competitors don't have that advantage. When Walmart or Kroger wants to expand, they have to do it under one unified corporate system. Aldi has 2 engines pushing forward simultaneously. Another hidden part of Aldi's strategy is how they choose where to build. Most grocery chains build big suburban stores with huge parking lots. Aldi does the opposite. Their stores are compact and often appear in places that other chains overlook: dense neighborhoods, smaller shopping centers, older retail lots. They also move quickly. Instead of spending years planning a new store, Aldi uses a streamlined construction model that allows them to open locations in months, not years. And here's something even more revealing. Aldi negotiates aggressively for real estate because they know their presence raises the value of the surrounding area. Landlords want Aldi because it draws foot traffic. That leverage lets Aldi secure premium locations at below-market rent. It's the opposite of what most retailers face, where landlords hold the power. When you start putting these pieces together, supplier efficiency, energy savings, lean staffing, rapid construction, real estate leverage, you begin to understand how Aldi built a blueprint other companies simply can't replicate. It's not just a grocery store. It's an economic engine built on precision. Let's talk about another aspect shoppers rarely consider. Aldi's private label dominance is not just about cost, it's about control. When a store relies on national brands, they're at the mercy of those brands' pricing, marketing, recalls, and supply issues. But Aldi controls the manufacturing, pricing, and logistics of almost everything they sell. Over 90% of Aldi's products are private label. Compare that to a typical grocery store with roughly 20 to 25% private label. That level of control lets Aldi do something powerful: predict inventory needs with near-perfect accuracy. They know exactly how much of each product will sell, how fast it will move, and when to restock. This minimizes waste, shrinkage, and spoilage, major expenses in the grocery industry. Aldi also uses a unique stocking method called in-box shelving. Instead of placing individual products on shelves, Aldi often stacks entire cases directly onto displays. It cuts stocking time by 67% and reduces labor hours dramatically. And while it might make aisles look a bit different from more polished retailers, it keeps prices low, and shoppers don't mind if it means saving real money. Here's another fact that often surprises people. Aldi's barcode system isn't just convenient, it's engineered. Most Aldi products have multiple barcodes on every side of the packaging. This ensures cashiers never have to rotate an item to find the scanner. They swipe, it registers instantly, and the line moves. This design choice alone saves thousands of labor hours per year. Aldi's efficiency even extends to its shopping carts. The famous quarter system isn't about charging customers a deposit, it's about eliminating the need for cart wranglers. When everyone returns their carts, Aldi doesn't need to pay staff to collect them. Multiply that small labor savings across thousands of stores and millions of carts, and suddenly you're talking about enormous financial impact. The more you study Aldi, the clearer the picture becomes. This company is rewriting the rules of grocery retail. They don't follow traditional playbooks. They strip everything down to what matters. And because they do it consistently, relentlessly, and at a national scale, their competitors can't keep up. Aldi's greatest secret is that none of this is magic. It's discipline, the kind most companies simply don't have. Aldi knows exactly who they are, what they sell, and how they operate, and they don't let anything dilute the formula. And that's why, whether you shop there or not, Aldi is shaping your grocery bill every single week. You feel their presence not because you walk into their store, but because their success forces every competitor to evolve or risk falling behind. Aldi's secrets aren't flashy. They're not glamorous. But the results? Those speak for themselves. They enjoy. Aldi isn't just another budget grocery chain. It's a blueprint, a working model for how efficiency, consistency, and smart cost cutting can reshape an entire industry. And whether you shop there or not, the impact is showing up on every price tag in your neighborhood. If you learned something new today, hit the like button. It really helps the channel. And before you go, let me know in the comments. Do you want Aldi's expansion to come to your city, or are you sticking with your current grocery store? I read every reply. And if you want more breakdowns like this on the companies shaping your wallet, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next one.